Hi, everyone. It's Tessa.
And Joe.
From the Unveiling Paradise podcast.
Tessa, summer is almost here, and so many of our listeners are about to have their epic destination wedding.
And we are so excited for you guys.
Before the big day, guys, we want you to make sure you listen to these 3 episodes.
Episode 62, Deep Diving Your Wedding Ceremony.
Episode 53, Questions Your Wedding Guests Will Ask.
And episode 31, the final countdown to your wedding day.
And if you're planning your wedding here in Hawaii, hit us up and ask us about our Unveiling Paradise podcast promo.
Happy planning.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unveiling Paradise podcast show. Hello, Tessa.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I am so good. We are going to be talking about something that I'm super excited about, something that is super duper over the top trending, social media content creation for your wedding. I don't know. Have you been seeing a lot of this at weddings recently?
Yeah, I've been seeing it everywhere. So almost every wedding I do now, there is some sort of content creation. Is it a trend or is it here to stay?
Oh, it's definitely here to stay, I think, for sure.
I think so too.
Okay, before we start, we're talking about social media content creation. For everyone who's just listening, has never heard about this before, it's basically you're bringing in another vendor who is creating social media content for you. And the end goal is for them to be able to share all of the amazing moments online, on your Instagram, on your TikTok, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so Tessa, when I first heard about this, it was kind of sort of a love-hate thing. I thought I hated it because I was like, what is the point of this? It's going to be another body, another person, another expense.
Getting in your way.
In your way.
Yep.
But it is so amazing. The businesses that are doing social media content, the end product is so different than what we do for photo and video. So I want to talk about that. Is it a love-hate for you? What do you think about it?
I think it's a great idea. I have so many couples on their wedding day that are trying to capture social media moments on their own. They're trying to catch their video, their bridesmaids, their groomsmen, and it's taken away from the day. So having someone come and be designated to be that person, they're still getting all of their content. They're still getting to post and share all of this happening without taking away from their wedding day.
I love that because it would be really awkward if you said you hated it because we actually have a social media content creator here today.
It would be so awkward.
Welcome to the show. So Iniki Leialoha, who is the owner of Leialoha Socials. Hi, Iniki.
Welcome.
Aloha. Thanks, guys, for having me so much. This is fun. I love you guys. So I'm glad to be here.
We're stoked to have you here, too. And we're excited to hear everything that you have to say about what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Okay, so I named my company Leialoha Socials. Leialoha in Hawaiian means beloved child. And I think it relates to the wedding industry so much because as a couple love each other so much to the point where you bring out everyone's kind of inner child, not just your two, but also your guests. Leialoha Socials, I'm a wedding content creator. I started this business because I was previously married. I had my own wedding and I'm super into content creation. I was there filming my getting ready. I was there with my phone in my hand at reception the entire time.
Wow.
On the dance floor with my phone in my hand. My photographer hated me. I really wanted to capture everything, my guests, my selfies. When you're spending that much money and you're also wanting to make sure that you remember it, you really want those memories. And my dad has an Android. When I tell you that those photos and videos that he took did not transfer well, trying to bring it to my phone, I absolutely hated it. So when I decided that I wanted to do wedding content creation, it kind of came from my experience because if I'm a bride that really wanted these memories forever, I know other brides are going to want this as well, or other couples. So it's a really fun way to just relive your special day.
And I think a couple of years ago, I think social media content creation was really at its infancy, right? I don't think there was businesses here in Hawaii that were even offering this. I love that. And it sort of just kind of grew organically out of you saying, I would love somebody to actually do this for me. When you think about filming parts of your wedding on a phone, it's such a different experience. Taking a selfie with a phone, right, is so much more fun than looking at a camera and saying, look at the photographer. It's It's interactive and everybody's, doing their poses and getting fun. It's a different way of also reliving your wedding.
Yeah. And I definitely think that everyone loves that instant gratification, which is why I think wedding content creation is so huge because not only can you relive your wedding day, but you can share this with your family and friends who couldn't come to this wedding or on social media, TikToks. Everyone just wants to look what they looked like and show themselves off pretty much. So it's a really fun way to just be able to not have to have a phone in your hand, but someone else is capturing it for you and you can just share it instantly.
Awesome. And that's why we have you here. We are excited to hear all your tips, all your tricks, all your advice, definitely more about the social media trends. So let's get started. Welcome to Unveiling Paradise, your go-to destination wedding podcast. I'm Tessa, wedding planner and owner of Fred and Kate Events.
And I'm Joe, wedding and adventure photographer of Joseph Esser Photography. We are based in Hawaii, one of the biggest, most popular locations for destination weddings.
We want to share our real-life experiences with you, give you insight from a professional's perspective, and still make sure you're having fun in the process.
We're huge believers in the fact that planning a destination wedding can be one of the most amazing experiences, and we want to bring you along.
We're so excited to talk with you about weddings, Hawaii, and everything else under the sun.
So pack your bags and let's get started.
Welcome back, everybody. I am so excited to have Iniki here talking with us today about wedding content creation. I want to tell a quick story. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You're stuck with me. So I had this bride, and I think it was maybe 2 years ago. She is an influencer in Seattle, food, style, fashion. And so she first had said, hey, we have photo, we have video, whatnot. We also have social media content creators. And I was like, what's that? And she's like, oh, they're just going to follow me around. I guess she works with them for all of her content for her social media. So I said, okay, had no idea what to expect, did not know what it was. But again, it literally was, I think, a team of 5 to 7 of them following her around and just capturing videos throughout the day. It was insane. So they went out to Sunset, and she has her photo team, which was 2 of them, video team, 2 of them. And there were 7 other people with their iPhones capturing every single possible angle. So it was the first time I ever had interaction with it. At the end, though, right by the next day, she had all these videos. And in addition to the BTS, she was doing specific TikToks, different trends, which again, at that point was so new and I didn't really understand what was going on. But when you see it on her page, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what she was doing. Like, it was really cool to see. What I love is it started with influencers. It started, way couple 2-3 years ago. And now it's kind of mainstream where every couple wants to do it. And I love it.
Yeah, same.
So tell us, talk to us about wedding content creation. What is that?
So wedding content creation is pretty much getting all the behind the scenes moments of a wedding day, from getting ready all the way till the end of the night. And when I say behind the scenes stuff, it is getting your makeup done. It is putting your dress on by your mom, putting the zipper up on the back of it. Not just only the ceremony and reception, but I'm getting or content creators in general are getting your guests' experiences. There's so many parts of the day that the couple misses, and being able to have someone that's kind of like a set of eyes that isn't yours out and about at cocktail hour while you're taking your photos at sunset, being able to be like, wow, that happened. My uncle took shots with your uncle and they did this and they did that. Like, the amount of times that I've had brides message me, like, I went through all the content. I didn't even see this. And I'm so glad you captured it. And I thought that I would miss this, but you got it. And I'm so excited. Yeah, I love it so much. It's just so much fun to be able to give couples a chance to actually live their wedding day again.
So when you're saying, you're giving them all this content, what exactly is that? Is it like just short little video clips that I can just watch and kind of do whatever, almost like the raw footage? Or is it something like edited that I can use and instantly post on social media?
Yeah, that's a good question. So every content creator is different. What I do is take a bunch of little clip videos. That way, when it comes to these edited videos, I do put together for clients that want like a full day edit, but it's very short form. Content creators, if you look at TikTok, Instagram, it's anywhere from 7 seconds to 15 seconds. So it's very short clips of these cool trending sounds that they might want to do, or even just trending music that they just want to play over like their videos. So again, it is from the iPhone. So it's a lot of short clips and short just photos on portrait mode. And they just get to go through all of it. And sometimes it's a lot. I have days that are just 6 hours and it could only be like maybe 500, 700 photos, videos combined, or 16 hours where I had almost 3,000. So it is a lot. Yeah. So it really just depends on how long people really want their day fully covered and how much they want to see, because it is a lot.
And so you're filming this all on your iPhone?
All on my iPhone, yeah.
Oh my gosh, how much storage do you need to be doing that?
The amount of times where I've gone through weddings, which I hope none of my brides hear this, but Sometimes my storage will be full in the middle of something really important, but I have my other iPhone. So, I mean, it's good to have, I just switch it out because sometimes it can be a lot. And my storage, once I have a wedding, I upload it to a link where clients can check it out, download it, and then I take it off my phone for the next wedding. So it doesn't stay on my phone forever.
That's amazing.
How many phones do you have?
Just 2.
2? Gosh, that's crazy.
It's like a photographer has our little gunslinger.
Right?
I know. Do you have a fun little hip band, a hip waist thing to hold?
I'm still trying to figure that out because I just have my little fanny pack where I put my phone in, but every content creator is different. I've seen necklaces, I've seen straps, kind of like the photographers. But I don't feel like I'm that well diverse with having to like whip it out, you know, like like that. It's always in my hand, just ready. Like I'm just ready. Yeah.
I love that.
So I want to break this down a little bit more. So when you're finished filming and photographing a wedding, what's the process? So do you just give your couples all of that footage, or are you actually creating like reels? Is that something that's included? Like, I'm kind of curious, like what's included in a social media content creator's packages? Is it 10 reels? Is it just all the raw footage that night? Like, what is that?
Yeah. So after a wedding, depending on how long it was, I don't sleep. I will go through all of the content. Again, it could be anywhere from 500 photos to videos to 1,000. And I go through every single one of them, make sure that if there's any that there are somewhere just like 2-second clips that were just kind of like, oops, I accidentally pressed it, didn't really need it. And then I also start editing. So I do make really fun short clips for them to have that, again, instant gratification to post the next day. They do get all of this within 24 hours. So when I say I don't sleep, I'm literally trying to edit and upload everything up into this link so that then when they wake up the next morning, I really try that they have everything and that they can just be in bed together, reliving their day. Like, oh my gosh, like this, they're crying. I have so many messages from brides that are just like, at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. I can't wait to see it. I haven't even, wait, what? Like,
Wow. Yeah. That's pressure though.
Yeah. So every package I have is different depending on the length. So if they want more reels, they can add on additional reels. But my average is like 3 to 5 reels for that day. And then they get all the behind the scenes content.
I have an awkward question.
Mm-hmm.
And let's pretend that Joe's not in the room.
Okay.
I am in the room.
Let's ignore him for a second. Because you have all of this really cool BTS, this video, these edited videos that you can post, can we get rid of our photographer and videographer?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. I'm leaving the room.
Do we need him or is he gone?
Left the chat.
Yeah.
No, it is so important to have a photographer and videographer on a wedding day. Like, think of me or a wedding content creator in general just being an extra bridesmaid to you that has their phone in their hand. You want to make sure that you have photos from your photographer to hang up on your wall in your house, be able to share on Facebook if you still have it. Am I too old? I don't know. Instagram, TikTok, things like that. And a videographer too. I mean, they make absolutely gorgeous ceremony, reception, all day edits that are just absolutely mind-blowing to me. I could never reach that type of editing skills to be able to offer that type of service. And even photographers, I can't capture and edit photos the way that their cameras do. I'm shooting off of an iPhone, which is a really high quality phone, but I'm not going to be able to provide that type of quality. And so, yeah, the answer is you definitely need a photographer and videographer.
You're not cut yet.
No.
Okay, well, this is actually really interesting because sometimes I feel like the new iPhones, just like the video and like the photo quality is like, I look at my camera and I look at their phone, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Well, and we were just before you got here, I was showing him this wedding and like my phone put together a little slideshow.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
I was like, oh, I don't need him.
Yeah.
I have a fancy iPhone.
So we can get rid of photo.
No.
Disagree with you.
Absolutely not.
Iniki says no. Iniki says we needed both.
I mean, if you take a look at all of the content that I've been putting on social media, it is all portrait mode, no landscape. So, I mean, I think photographers and videographers, they shoot in landscape and portrait, and it gives the couple more of a better option to have different styles of photos, you know?
I think the other thing that's really unique too is that social media content, I think, is just a little bit more, I don't know, more free-spirited, free-flowing. Like, I feel like when I see, and we've gotten to actually do weddings together, I get to see you like, you know, working through the crowd, and like, it feels more organic. You do kind of like almost feel like you're, you know, blending in with the guests, and, you know, and like, I think that just creates a different way of documenting your day and reliving your day. I think they're all awesome. Don't fire me. But it does add a different dimension to being able to capture your wedding.
Yeah, I'll sometimes go around and talk to guests, do little mini interviews and little trending TikToks, and they get to watch this video that we put together of everyone saying like, I love you guys so much. I wish you guys the best. And sometimes I think that, you know, the video teams, they do capture a lot of the romantic love story. And a lot of times people really want to have weddings because they want to have fun with everyone that they love. So when they have these fun little edits, they just absolutely, they're mind blown whenever they see it. So
I think when I've worked with you before, right, what I like is, for me, it's looking at the content creator as a different point of view, right? So you're not competing with photo and video, even though we want to fire Joe.
No, not competing at all. Not competing.
It's cool because, again, you, like you said, you're looking at it sort of from the wedding party's point of view, right? So you're kind of part of the crowd, and you're looking at it from their point of view, a guest point of view, versus it being the couple, right? Yeah. With the photographer and videographer, they are standing in the middle of the aisle, capturing that kiss, sometimes behind them, capturing that angle. You're kind of more of a behind the scenes, trying to get the point of view from, again, the wedding party, the guest. And I think it brings in a different point of view that you would not see otherwise.
Yeah. And it's funny because going back to your story about having the 7 content creators, when I started doing this and there was one wedding where they had like 4 videographers and 3 photographers. I'm like, I'm an extra body here that I feel very out of place. So as content creators, we are never going to be in front of your media team because, again, we're behind the scenes. So we do get videos of the photographer and videographers with you guys at the ceremony because it kind of looks like a movie. Like you're being filmed in a way that it portrays like I am like the center of attention. I'm literally a celebrity right now. I have TV, like people are recording me. I have my guests looking at me. Like it just gives you a whole different feeling. And I think that's what I also love too.
Yeah. And it's such a different, like a little bit more candid by its nature, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually want to jump into all of our pro tips. We want to ask you your pro tips for everyone who's listening that's thinking about hiring a social media content creator. What are your tips that you can share, like when you're thinking about doing this? And maybe even on your wedding day, how do you set yourself up? How do you set your couples up for success? What are the tips you have beforehand?
That's a good question. So we do little content calls is what I call them, little content calls that we kind of go over the timeline. So I always tell them, like, you obviously have booked your photographer, videographer before me. I'm usually always kind of the last type of being so new. Oh, we really, really want you. I want to relive my day. And so I always tell them, based off of your current timeline or a timeline that your photographer or videographer has sent you, we will go off of that. If there are any trends that you want to do, specifically mouthing them, dancing to them, any type of transition, you need to let them know that you are going to be doing this, because I don't want to extend their timeline any longer for them to be upset and being like, okay, what's taking so long? Like, get it together. So I always tell them, make sure you are very aware that you tell your photographer, videographer, you have a content creator, you want to do these reels, because the day goes by so fast and I don't want us to be behind 20 minutes because whether the couple couldn't figure out how to do it or the bridesmaids couldn't get together or something happens on my end.
So one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about that ties into what you're saying is I wanted to talk about just kind of the different point of views. Again, because I think you are a newer vendor to a wedding day, how does it affect everyone else? So as a wedding planner, my point of view, like you mentioned perfectly, if we know that you're doing kind of those dancing TikToks or the mouthing and the singing and whatnot, do we need to add extra time? For me, what I would like to know when we reach out to content creators, when we're working on a timeline, is how much time do they need? If it's just one and you're like, we're going to be 5-10 minutes, or if you're like, listen, I've seen them practice, they're not good, we're going to need 30 minutes, whatever it is fine, but it does affect the timeline of the day. So I like to make sure that I know that going in, and the times that you need it. Like, does it have to be at sunset?
Yeah.
When it's critical for photo and video to get their shots? Or can it be, at some other time in the shade or, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Most so definitely. I've had brides that are like, oh, we have to do this, and this TikTok. And they were behind on makeup. They were behind on transportation. There was absolutely no way of doing it. And so there's specific times, like let's just say during a first look, oh, we're waiting for dad to get over here. Okay, we have like maybe 2 minutes. Let's get this down. So I kind of find little pieces throughout the day. If they really, really wanted it, okay, camera and video aren't here right now. Let's do this really quickly. So it's not like we can't do it, but especially on the timeline, like if it is just completely pushed back, I'm sorry, like we can't do this. And yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into this. We talked about this TikTok dances, right? Like, does your couple actually tell you like, hey, we want to do the bibbity bobbity boop TikTok or whatever it is? Like, did they talk to you beforehand?
Yeah.
Or?
So Tessa said earlier and even you too, when social media started kind of kicking off with these different dancing trends and TikToks kind of pushed all of this, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this. I kind of slowly seeing it falling out. I haven't done any trends recently with any of my brides, probably within the last 4 months, because all of these fun trends, transformation trends, whether in their robes, into their dress, it's just not as popular anymore. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, because every bride wants to be able to do a trend that they loved. And then, oh yeah, my wedding's not until 3 years from now, but I'm still going to do it. Yeah. We can still do it. But yeah, during our content call, I would ask, is there specific trends? Okay, I want to make sure I know what they are. I have a bride actually in June who is huge on TikTok. She's been doing a bunch of videos of just DIYs. This is what I ordered and this is what I'm doing. She texted me the other day and she goes, okay, my whole entire timeline changed, but I let my video and photo team know that you're going to be here and we're doing this. And that makes me nervous, because I'm like, how many TikToks are we doing? Like, is it still going to be like trending by that time? So I personally don't have content calls until 2 weeks prior to their wedding, because a trend can come and go so quickly. You might want to do it today, but your wedding is next year and it's completely gone.
That is so interesting. Actually, and I think that's so true, because like you see these trends and they come and go in like a blink of an eye. It's just insane. Yeah. And if you're planning your wedding to do this trend and you're like, oh, that's breakdancing from the 80s and it's the 90s, whatever we're doing in the night. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So is it more so, I guess, is it popular now to do more of the BTS? So kind of almost the recap of the day with just music over it. Is that still popular?
Yeah, so what I've been seeing is more of just the gist of the entire day, or the moments with your girls, or if you've been on Instagram or TikTok, it's more of like text over video saying like moments with my mom before I walked down the aisle. So it's little moments like that. I actually made a video where her dad passed away and there was a little memorial for him, and I kind of put together a little video of her memorial with her dad at ceremony, and she messaged me and was like, this is the most sweetest thing I've ever seen, and I'm so thankful that you were there to capture that, because I don't even think my video team put that in my wedding video. And so yeah, it's just like little details is kind of what I like to do, and make little sentimental things for couples. Yeah.
One question I had was, when you're doing those videos, those short reels, and you're putting the words over it, is that something that they are sharing? And I guess it's the goal to trend, or just to kind of highlight their day?
So as a content creator, I obviously make content for my own, advertising on my own Instagram, but then I also make reels in the same way that's sent to the couple so that they can share it if they want to share it, if they want to keep it. I mean, they'll have these forever. So it's not just for social media within the next couple months to share. It's okay, 6 years ago, or 6 years from now, they can look back at it and be like, oh, like I really miss my dad. Like, let me watch this video. I had a bride actually message me a couple weeks ago saying, oh, I'm in Cabo right now because my friend is getting married and I'm her bridesmaid. And I just looked back at her video that you took at my wedding of her being my bridesmaids and her speech, and I just like melted, and I'm just so thankful that you got that. I just want to let you know. So it is really nice just to have that. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So in general, people are doing these videos more so for themselves versus to post it on social media, to trend, to go viral, to be famous.
Yeah. I mean, again, but bringing it back to like you're at ceremony with your whole media team, photographer, videographer, everyone looking at you. You get the behind the scenes content. You feel like a celebrity. So when you're seeing videos of yourself, it kind of makes you happy, and it makes you like, oh man, like that's what I look like. Like I want to go back to this day so bad. And it just gives you those memories that you can just feel good about yourself,
Well, I actually love seeing myself.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
the last time we had a wedding together, there were some really cool photos where it's at sunset and we're taking pictures of the couple, and I'm like, hey, that's us.
Yeah. I mean, you guys take selfies at weddings, and, like it's nice to just share and be like, oh, look at everyone. And, I mean, the amount of times I post on my Instagram stories, I probably watch it 20 million times in a day just to see myself, which may sound conceited, but I'm just making sure that like, okay, did I present myself well? Am I sounding well? Do I have to delete this? Did I watch this too many times? I think it's kind of cringe. Maybe I'll delete it. Like, yeah.
Well, and you're a great selfie taker. I have to say, we've been to a couple events, and like she has the perfect angle everybody looks good in the selfie, which is impressive. So you always are a great selfie taker.
Thank you.
Are you going to say anything about my selfie skills?
Yours are the worst.
I'm the very
I never
worst.
let him take a selfie because I'm like, you're always going to make my head look so big.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so bad at selfies. Great photographer, horrible selfie.
Yeah.
I just can't, I don't know. Like I need to grow longer arms, I
Yeah,
think. Or
it's
something.
a selfie skill. You have to teach him, please.
Okay, I will. My signature selfie. Everyone says,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you've mastered it for sure.
So Iniki, I want to ask you this question. Do you get along well with all the photographers and videographers at weddings? Because like, is it like a fight for the couple's attention ever, or?
It's funny that you say that because when I first started wedding content creation here in Hawaii, I was very scared to approach the scene as someone coming up with their iPhone because that's what guests do. And photographers hate when guests get in their way with their phone, you know? And I made it very clear. I always like introduce myself and made like, oh, hi, I'm the behind the scenes person. Like I never will get in your way unless, you know, the couple bride wants a specific photo or a trend that they want to do. But I was very nervous with a lot of photographers because they have so many years of experience in this industry. And here I am just like, I'm a content creator. Like, I'm just going to take photos and videos. Like, it's so fun. But I haven't had any bad experience. I think Hawaii is so special because everyone just has the aloha spirit. Like, it is just so contagious. And whether you've been in the industry or a long time or not, everyone is just so welcoming here. And I'm so appreciative of every single vendor that has let me be able to be in their space.
But photographers can be like prima donnas where like, it's my show. Get out of my photos. Not me, but I know a lot of them.
I have worked with a lot of photographers that come with their assistants and they get different angles. And I'm over here like running left and right like chicken. Like, I don't want to be in your photo over here, but then you're also over here. So I'm like, where am I supposed to stand? Like, and with photographers, you can edit out. So I'm like, okay, hopefully they can edit me out. But for videographers, I'm over here like bobbing and weaving. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm really trying to get out of this because I am with the guests sometimes. And I can see them sometimes in the corner. I'm like, oh shoot, I got to go over there. Cause I'm part of their little video that I don't want to be in.
You just have to dress like a guest and they'll be like, she's just one of the guests.
I
It's
know.
fine.
It's so hard for me because I really do want to dress like a guest so guests can feel more comfortable. And I feel like sometimes whenever my phone is like in their face and I'm dressed in all black, they're like looking away, like they don't want to be in it. One time I did dress like a guest and they felt a lot more comfortable and like, oh, like how are you related to who or how are you, whatever. So it's been really hard for me to determine if I want to be dressed as a vendor or not because other vendors are going to think that I'm not a vendor.
Yeah.
You know, so it is very hard. Yeah.
So I love what you're talking about with the Aloha Spirit because I think really, truly here in Hawaii, it's very unique. Everybody does get along and they work together and, you know, everyone's trying to do their best to give that couple the best materials, the best experience, the best, you know, deliverables. I want to just point out the elephant in the room though. Like the thing that's different about social media content creators and photo and video is like the immediacy, right? So you're like 24 hours, you're not sleeping. Like that next morning, it's instantly there. Photo and video, like we don't have those same turnaround times. And I think if you think of it from like a couple's perspective, to have all of that material that next morning, I mean, it's so much different than what we do for photo and video. Sometimes photographers take forever. We're nitpicking, we're photoshopping people out. We're doing all these things, trying to perfect something that, you know, I know some photographers that take 6 months to deliver their pictures, you know,
It's a long time.
It's a long time, but there's a lot of work that goes into, you know, all those edits after the fact. Whereas social media content, like how amazing is that next morning you have, you know, such great material already. Same thing for video. Like when videographers are stringing together these like 7-10 minute highlights, it doesn't happen overnight, you know?
Yeah, it is a lot of footage and a lot of pictures to go through for editing. So having all of the content the next day, your wedding high is like through the roof. And you will be able to have that same high for days, weeks, months, up until you get those photos and videos, which is amazing because once you get those photos and videos, and now you're having higher quality. Now you're having romantic video. Now you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so glad I had all this behind the scenes. But my wedding video is absolutely amazing. It's jaw-dropping. Like now all three put together, I have everything I've ever wanted.
The trifecta.
Yeah. You can't talk until I say your name. Now it's the Tessa and Iniki show.
That's so funny.
So one thing that, you know, Iniki and I had talked about before that I think is really cool is we talked about getting that instant gratification, getting those videos. And what she said that was really kind of funny, she's like, you know, right after your wedding, you're going to get a ton of tags from your friends and family and whatever. After a day or two, they've moved on. Like, your wedding is done and you're just kind of like, oh, no one's tagging me. No one's posting about me anymore. And they've moved on. But getting these videos, these short content, you still have it. You can still post because everyone of your friends and family are on to the next thing.
Yeah.
You're not. You're still waiting. You want your photos, you want your video, but you have that stream of content that you can still be posting and still make it about you for weeks until you get your actual photos and videos.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like whenever I go through my Instagram and I just did a wedding, the bride or the groom story is like 20, 30, 40 taps deep from all their guests tagging them. And then it expires within 24 hours and no one's posting anything. And they're able to share something that maybe their guest didn't capture and relive and have everyone else kind of just be living in that moment. Oh, I couldn't make it, but like, wow, that looks amazing, you know? So yeah.
Well, you put so much time and money and investment into this wedding. You just, you don't want it to just be done.
Yeah.
You want to just keep reliving that moment as long as you can.
Yeah, most definitely.
So when you get your professional photos and videos back, a lot of times those are for you, right? I think you had mentioned they're not something that you're necessarily sharing on social media. You're not sharing it with everyone else. They're for you. They're for your immediate family, your spouse. But the social media stuff are things that are meant to be shared with everyone. So I think the uses are different.
Yeah, most definitely.
Can you say my name so I can talk?
No. You can keep looking because I jinxed you. Fine, Joe. What do you have to say?
Not a whole lot.
We take our jinx very seriously.
Okay, so I want to follow up with this. Like, after your wedding, you're getting tagged on all these stories and stuff. I see like these ads and stuff for like these, QR codes, right? That you can use for your wedding, and all the content gets filtered to that you can actually keep all your guests on. Does that actually work? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've had a bride she went above and beyond for her wedding. She wanted everything documented. She's also a content creator as well. So she had the QR code on every single table, had the app. Okay, guys, make sure, and even a piece of paper that said, make sure you take a photo and then upload it through this app. And once you scan the app, it kind of takes you to a different place where guests have to now upload the app and they have to upload all the photos. And during your wedding day, they don't want to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, I had a conversation with her because she got all the content. She's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad I hired you because only 2 people uploaded photos out of 400 people. Yep. And so I felt like I kind of had paid for this thing and I never got to even use it.
Exactly. And I think that's what I was going to say is I've had a lot of couples that do that QR code or, just other apps. But again, it's like you're asking your guests to download an app, or again, like they're trying to send it to like a Google Drive, or like you're putting a lot on your guests where they're there to drink and have a good time.
Yeah.
If you have a disposable camera, maybe they'll do that. But even that, we did a wedding last night and there were about 25 disposable cameras. And at the end, I'm trying to take pictures of things too, so we don't waste it, right? Because they're like, oh, are they filled? And I'm like, no.
It's like
it's a lot of selfies of me.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Well, and I think this is something that we always come back to at every show. It's like when you have your wedding and it's this big day, you can't redo it. Hire professionals to document it. If social media is huge, like don't put that on your guests. Don't put all your eggs in the QR code basket, right? Because they may not be able to get internet. There could be 100 different reasons why it doesn't work.
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like too, I would say wedding content creators are not specifically meant for social media, but it is an asset that you can use for social media. I've had brides who aren't even on social media. I don't even know how they found me, but they don't post and they just want the memories to relive. I have a wedding in Kauai at the end of this month, and she's like, I'm 40, we're not dancers on the dance floor. We're not TikTokers. We're older. I just really want to make sure that I have all these behind the scenes moments. So if in any time I feel like, oh, I miss my mom right now, like I can get some videos of being my mom at my wedding, and it's kind of just more of a memory thing,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my 80-year-old couple about you. I just booked a couple. They're 81 and 82.
Oh, wow. No, but it's funny because we were at the wedding expo last week, and the age difference is kind of up and down, and I've had older couples and I'm like, do you know what wedding content creation is? And they're like, no, but I think I'm okay. And then they walk away. and as a new vendor in the industry, no one knows what content creation is if you're not on social media. So it is a very repetitive, like, let me tell you what it is. And Yeah, so just more for me, it's more of just being able to have those memories in the palm of your hand.
And not put the burden on your guests or your bridesmaid to do that. Yeah,
like most definitely, because I've had weddings where they're like, okay, well, she's a content creator, don't even worry about it. And bridesmaids will come up to me and be like, thank God, because this woman has put me through it all weekend already. I cannot record her and have her yell at me because I missed something. So thank you so much. So yeah.
Do couples have you come to their rehearsal dinners, their bachelorette parties, all of that too?
Yeah, so I had a wedding weekend where we went out for a bachelorette party, and then the next day they had a welcome party on like a party boat, and then the third day was their wedding. And by that time, it's like, oh wow, like I really got to connect with the couple, her bridesmaids, the groomsmen. Like everyone is just so much fun all together. And by the end of it, you have everyone saying like, I need you in my life anywhere I go. Like not even just my wedding. Like I just want you to make reels of me going to the beach. Like I just, yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
I love that. So Iniki, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a guest. I think hopefully we've gotten a lot of people to understand what wedding content creation is. But can you please tell our listeners a little more about where to find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and TikTok, Facebook as well. Leialoha Socials, Leialoha Socials. If you forget, just remember when you come to Hawaii, often you get a lei, and that's a form of aloha. So Leialoha. And yeah, you can see me all but my stories, kind of exposing my life and my fun edits and everything,
your great
weddings
selfies.
and my great selfies.
And we'll put your information in our show notes as well for our listeners.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is so much fun.
All right. And with that, it's a wrap. Thanks, guys. And we will catch you guys on another show.
Talk to you next time. Bye.
Aloha.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unveiling Paradise.
If you enjoy our show, please follow us and rate us on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. It would really mean a lot.
And don't forget to also get on our mailing list and follow us on Instagram. Just do it already.
Until next time, this is Tessa.
And this is Joe.
And don't forget, your happily ever after
is just a plane ride away.